Hey, it's Johnson, boss.
Send him in. Sit down. What do you want? What is this?
It's all the BOI information that you need for all those businesses. It's what you asked for.
I don't need this. I don't need this anymore. I joined the family.
What do you mean? That's everything you asked for.
No. With TaxBandits, I can keep all the client information in my address book, and I can pull it out of my address book when I need it. So this I do not need. This is trash.
What does that mean for me?
You know what? I'm feeling kind and generous today, so you take this. You take this and you figure it out for me. It's easy.
Okay.
All right, Johnson. It's time to go.
Okay.
Come, get out of here.
Hey, Ralphie, how you doing? Where are you? The webinar's about to start. I sent you the link. Come on. Okay.
Hello everyone, my name is Tiffany and with me today is Christina. We are the product managers of TaxBandits. Thank you for tuning in to our second showing of our Summer BOI webinar series. All through the summer we will be screening what you need to know about the BOI report or reporting process. And today's feature film is all about how you can organize your client info this summer. Grab your popcorn and a drink and join us.
Now, as a reminder, TaxBandits is an IRS authorized e-file provider. We love to talk about taxes. We have years and years of experience, but we are not tax advisors. So if you have specific questions about your business, we absolutely recommend contacting the IRS or a tax preparer.
For anyone who hasn't tuned in with us before, we'll start with a quick recap of what the BOI report is. The BOI is the Beneficial Ownership Information Report, which started with the Corporate Transparency Act. It was created to improve financial transparency and eliminate money laundering and other similar crimes. Another acronym you'll hear a lot when you're talking about the BOI report is FinCEN. This is the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network.
And a really important note about the BOI report is, unlike a lot of the forms that we support, this is set up so that businesses have to file the BOI report unless they are exempt from it. So definitely something to keep in mind as you're assessing whether or not it's a requirement for your business or if you're helping clients with that.
Absolutely. So Christina, let's talk about the address book and how it keeps folks from being a big boss sloth and getting their BOIR completed.
Yes. Absolutely, Tiffany. So for one thing, it's so easy to just add information to your address book. Whether you need to add tens or hundreds of client entities at once, we've got you covered. You can bulk upload that client information, including reference numbers, names, EINs, addresses, all of those client details at one time using our Excel template. Mm-hmm. Or when you're onboarding a new client, bada bing, bada boom, you can add them one at a time manually, and you've got their details saved in your address book.
Wow, that is so easy. So everybody can join the family?
Everybody.
Well, now let's go to the video and show you how easy that works.
TaxBandits allows you to upload many businesses at once to your account. From the dashboard, click Add Business. Then click Start Now under Bulk Upload. Then click Download Template. Open the provided template in Excel or a similar program and fill in all the required fields here. Then you'll need to save this file and re-upload it here on TaxBandits.com. Click Continue and then check over the info that you've imported and click Continue again. Then the system will check for missing information and common errors. Click on the messages to correct errors. And that's it. You can start filing for these businesses now.
All right, so now you've all seen how easy it is to add your business or your clients to your address book. No fedoras required. I know, it's punny. So Tiffanie, considering that the Corporate Transparency Act has left businesses with an offer they can't refuse, can you talk about how keeping your client data in the address book is actually going to help specifically with the BOIR?
Oh, yes, definitely. So other reporting options require submitters to enter all of their information for every business every time they submit a report. Nothing is saved. Members of the TaxBandits family store their clients' information in the address book, so they don't have to enter it again and again. It's automatically added to the BOI when reporting.
Automatically, you say?
Automatically, because it's already in there. You don't have to enter it every single time.
It's just so much easier.
It is.
So now that we know it is automatically added, it is saved in your address book, it's going to be there for you for your report. Can you go into what happens when the business's details change?
Oh, yes. So when the business details change, all you have to do is go into your address book, hit the little edit button. It's a beautiful little pencil in there. And you just click that, you update the information, and you save it. It could be an EIN, a business name, address, any details that go to that business, and you just save it and you're updated. And
just
then
in one place.
Exactly, in one place. And then when you go to start your new form, no matter which form it is in TaxBandits, the new information will be loaded into the form.
Any of our 40 plus forms?
Any of our 40 plus forms.
Including the BOIR?
Including the BOIR.
Love it. Love it. And that honestly, it does make it so much easier though, because you're not having to figure out what did you put the first time versus what even was on the original report versus what's changed. You can actually see what was saved and what was entered the first time.
Exactly.
So that when you go in to make those changes, you know what you're working with.
Exactly. So now let's tell our audience about how easy it is to update those changes in the beneficial ownership information report.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for example, when you're submitting a corrected report, if the client gave you misinformation by mistake, it's really just as easy as, like you said, getting the information fixed in the address book, but the report itself is just as simple as submitting the original report. You go in, you choose to start your report, you choose the client that you're reporting for and the type of report, and that you just follow the prompts from there. It's so simple to make those changes or corrections or what have you. Back to our address book. What other features of the way that it's set up are beneficial? Because it sounds so simple when you just say address book, but it's so deeply ingrained in all of the reporting requirements that businesses and preparers have. So what's another thing that you really like about it?
Well, I really like that you can add in the recipients for each individual business, and you can manually do it, or you can use our bulk upload templates and do that as well for each of your businesses. So
we're talking you have your client, your payer, or your employer, and you're adding their vendors or recipients or employees, whoever they need to report for is getting saved under that specific business.
Absolutely. And you can do it individually, you can do it bulk upload. We have a couple different ways you can do it, and it's really simple. Just a couple of clicks again, and you're in.
You're good to go. Something I know I've heard a lot just speaking with clients is, can you tell us, are you able to add the same recipients under multiple payers if you had recipients that needed to report under needed to be reported for under a couple different entities?
You can, actually. You can either select them individually and then re-upload them into each business separately.
Awesome.
Because, some people work for more than one business.
And I know there are so many contractors, they may have worked under multiple entities. So it's definitely a cool thing just to be able to keep everything organized, but have everything that you need. One of my favorite things is that once you've added all of those businesses to your address book, you can actually assign your staff members to them. So having them in that address book connects to so many other places in TaxBandits. You can pick which of your staff are working on specific entities. You can assign them to all of them, but it's totally customizable, and it makes managing those clients and that workload a lot easier.
Definitely. And speaking of the staff, you can actually even add in their office location from there as well. So you can select which office that staff member is located in if they have multiple offices.
Can you also assign like the specific business to an office?
You can.
So everything's connected, everything's organized.
Yes.
Love it. And I'm guessing that like those entries and that information is also showing up in our activity log.
It is. Yes.
Love it.
So you can see when and where you had to move or add locations.
Perfect. And that's really what you need for for keeping up with everything and managing your clients, your staff, all of the things.
All of the things.
This is kind of an interesting question because it's something that we're in TaxBandits every day. We're so used to seeing how everything functions. But I've actually heard that not all solutions have all of the client details like common for all tax years. So I've spoken with companies that have to re-update all of their client information for the new year. Yes, so much work. So just so that we're all on the same page, the TaxBandits address book, it's common for all years. It's common for all reports. You just pull from it, and that information is always going to be available to you regardless of the form or the year or the report that you're submitting. Any other main features of that address book that you want to touch on?
That's a really good feature that you mentioned there with the tax years, because I complain about changing my password every 30 days.
Yep.
Can't imagine having to update and re-add all of my clients if I've got tens or hundreds and some thousands of clients that they have to do this for every year.
So much work.
That is so much work. That to me would be a huge time saver, that you don't have to do that every year.
Absolutely.
And being able to deactivate the recipients or the businesses that you
even the
no longer
clients.
need in your address book, if they're no longer your client, you can deactivate them. And so you don't see them there. They're not gone. They're
you still
in
have a
your
record
account.
of what you completed for them before, but you're not going
Exactly.
to be confused about what to complete for clients
Exactly.
now.
They don't accidentally get put in there if they're not there.
Well, I think that's the main points that we wanted to touch on for the address book. It sounds so simple, but it's so much easier than having like paper to work off of or spreadsheets or multiple files. Everything is just organized neatly in one place. You can categorize it and assign and deactivate and everything is needed.
It's almost like a common root system for your TaxBandits account.
Yes.
Because from there, you've got all of your information and you can do so many different things from that spot.
Would you almost call it like a founding family? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I could definitely see it as a founding family.
All right. Well, as always, a few other things to keep in mind. Keep joining our webinar series. We will continue to have like fun movie themes throughout the summer. We'll have bad puns, but we are actually going to give you helpful information on the BOIR and different features and tools you can utilize to make reporting for your business or especially for your clients' businesses a lot easier.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. Is there anything else that you want to leave our audience with today?
I would just like to say that I know with it being a new requirement for a lot of companies that existed before January 1st, 2024, they have until 2025 to complete this report. So I know the urgency is not fully felt now, but again, because we're in this every day, so we're just season after season, we're going with the deadlines and what's coming and what's next, and it feels like it's far away, but the year end is packed with deadlines. You have your 1099s and your W-2s and your 941s and 940s and all the other payroll forms, and a lot of businesses have to file multiple types of 1099s and just holy cannoli, so many tax deadlines. I know, but like you're with me. So just like don't shoot yourself in the foot. Go ahead and get everything in order and complete the BOIR. Now it's not something that has to wait until the timeline. That those other things have to wait until. So getting a solution for it in place now, getting it submitted, it gives you time in case in case you do need to kind of get used to what your plan is for that. But going ahead and doing that right now and just getting it out of the way is what I would like to leave us with today.
Definitely. And setting up your address book now will set you up for success, whether you're doing your BOI today or next week or whenever you do it, or any of your other forms that you have to do, because like we said earlier, we have 40 plus forms that businesses use every year to get their business taken care of and make sure that they stay
Compliant. If you will.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I'm finito here. How about you?
I think
that's
so.
the last one I can work in for today.
Well, we don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot, so we're going to leave them with some good information. And if you have any questions or need any information, you can always text. Excuse me, you can't text us, but you can email us at support@taxbandits.com. You can also call us at 704-684-4751.
All right. Thank you all.
Bye.